Welcome, Double O students. Your mission today is to gain information about substitution reaction.
There are two main types of substitution reactions. There is SN1 and SN2.
SN1 reaction rate law states that the reaction is dependent on the substrate. It depends on a secondary or tertiary substrate. This is a non-concerted reaction and it occurs in two steps. The first step is the formation of a carbocation, where the leaving group leaves the electrophilic carbon by removing one pair of electrons. The second step, the nucleophile bonds with the electrophilic carbon by donating one pair of its electrons. This reaction usually occurs in protic solvents. Also, ideal leaving groups for both reactions are bromine, chlorine, and fluorine.
The rate law states that the reaction is dependent on the concentration of a strong nucleophile and prefers a methyl or primary substrate, but it can still occur with a secondary substrate. The SN2 reaction is concerted. This occurs when bonds are broken and formed simultaneously. This forms a 5-member transition state. When completed, the reaction occurs with inversion of chemistry. This reaction usually takes place in an aprotic solvent such as
in SN1 reaction, the bond between the chlorine leaving group and electrophilic carbon begins to break. The pair of electrons are now given to the chlorine. After the chlorine leaves, the carbocation is formed. Now the ethoxide ion has 3 pairs of valence electrons and will now bond with the carbocation by donating 1 pair of electrons to the electrophilic carbon.
When this occurs, there are two partial bonds forming a 5-member transition state. When the chlorine bond breaks, the nucleophile attacks from the backside, therefore the reaction has occurred with inversion of chemistry and forms methanol and chlorine.
SN1 reaction pathways are favored by using a weak nucleophile, which means disfavoring the SN2 pathway, as well as a secondary or tertiary substrate in a polar protic solvent, which all occurs in 2 steps.
To conclude, competition does exist between SN1 and SN2 reactions. The SN2 pathways are favored by the use of a strong nucleophile, a methyl primary or secondary substrate, and the use of an aprotic solvent. This all occurs
In a one-step reaction mechanism. Good luck, students. The world is counting on you.
Created using Powtoon.